What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be teaching you guys on how to use redstone. Also, if you enjoy what you see here, please do consider subscribing, and if you see the cursor on the screen, please just bind that. Also, if you hear the beacon sound, sadly I cannot do anything about that because that's on someone else's plot. This is in 1.8 on ArcSMC, and if you guys want to find my plot, it will be on the screen right now. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Alright, there are 5 different blue colors. One is red, one is blue, one is yellow, one is light blue, and one is gray. Red means main redstone things. Blue means both input and output, doesn't have to activate anything. Yellow means input, light blue means output, and gray means it's just additional things in redstone. Alright, let's start off with red. Alright, so red means main redstone stuff, right? So that means redstone dust is basically the main stuff. So if I place it down, we can see that it's not powered at all. That means this redstone dust has a redstone signal of 0. But when it's powered to the max, it gives off a redstone signal of 15. 15 is the max, and every block it goes, it will decrease by 1 redstone signal. Basically from 15 to 14 all the way till it's at 0 again. Alright, let's talk about something else. So basically so this is a redstone staircase. Basically we do this when we want the power source from the bottom all the way to the top. So as you can see here, if we use glass, it does work. It also works with slabs and alright, let's talk about something else. Redstone staircase. So it does still have to do with redstone dust, but this is when, and we use the redstone staircase. Alright, let's talk about redstone staircase. Basically, the redstone staircase is where we want to get the power source from down here all the way up here, as you can see. So far glass is the only block that allows us to do this. Stone, dirt, wood, and even cobblestone do not even work. You can use slabs too if you want. And keep in mind, gosh, the bub. Alright, let's talk about redstone staircase. We do this when we want the power source from down here all the way up here, as you can see from this example. Basically, the glass is the only block that allows us to do this. Cobblestone, stone, dirt, and wood will not let us do these things. I mean, you can also use slabs, but I guess glass is kinda nice to use too, because it's a full block. Keep in mind that it only works from bottom to top, not top to bottom. As you can see from this example, it does not work. Alright, let's get to the second main redstone component, the repeater. Alright, let's talk about redstone dust again. So if we flick it, we can see it just lights up at the same time. But what's the difference with the repeater? Let me just reset this. So basically, if I power this up, we can see there's a delay. So repeaters are basically redstone dust, but it has a delay basically. And there are different ticks. If you want to change the tick, you can just right click it. So basically, this is tick 1, tick 2, tick 3, and tick 4. So basically, once it's at tick 4, the delay is way more obvious, as you can see here. Yep, it's way more obvious. Alright, let's talk about the other function of the repeater. Basically, this is a redstone signal of 15, then this is 14, then 13. So no matter what redstone signal goes into the repeater, basically it can be 14 or 1, except 0 obviously. No matter what goes into the repeater, whatever redstone signal comes out is always 15. It will always be 15. It won't be 1, it won't be 14. And yeah, so basically that's one of the main functions of the repeater. It does extend out your redstone signal. Alright, here's another feature about the repeater. So basically, if I take this repeater, obviously it will light up because something's connecting the repeater to the lamp. Like we can also use redstone or other things. But what if we put a block? the lamp fuse lights up. So the repeater has this function where it can send a redstone signal through any type of blocks, and then it will give the signal to either redstone dust or any outputs basically. This is very useful if you don't have that many redstone or repeaters. Another function about the repeaters that I didn't really want to include because I didn't see it useful, but now I do know, is that as you can see, this is an repeater and it's at its off state, so that means there's no power going into it. So if we power this repeater, so if you power a repeater into another repeater, basically this repeater will have a barrier. So since it's at its off state and the barrier is keeping the repeater at its off state, we can never turn it on unless we turn this off. And if we turn it on, the repeater will stay at its powered up state, basically, as you can see here. So unless we unlock it, so it will never turn off unless we unlock it. Now I never thought it was useful until I thought about redstone clocks, and if you want me to show you on a tutorial on how to do this, comment down below. So basically how this works is this is a redstone clock basically. If I unlock this, so it keeps going in the cycle, and okay, and basically normally how we would stop this is like break everything. So we will have to break like either one redstone or the repeater just to stop this clock. But see, because of this function where the repeaters can lock the other repeaters, we basically have a switch to turn on and off the clock. So this is actually a very useful feature. So consider using this next time you want to make like a redstone clock or like a switch for a redstone clock basically. Alright, let's talk about the comparator. Basically people say this is the hardest thing to learn, but I can prove to you that it's not that hard. So as you can see here, the comparator is getting powered and it is giving off a redstone signal. Basically it's getting from the chest, but not directly from the chest, but rather what's inside the chest. As you can see here, there's stuff in the chest, and that's why the comparator is on. Basically the comparator will compare how many blocks are inside the chest and will give out a redstone signal depending on how much is in the chest. So let's say I take out everything. You can see here the comparator has turned off because there's nothing to compare in the chest, and there's no point of giving a redstone signal. But if we put stuff in the chest, it will turn back on. This doesn't only work with chests, but it does also work with the hoppers, droppers, dispensers, furnaces, and the brewing stand. So I think we all know that when I talked about the repeaters, we said that no matter what number of the redstone signal goes into the repeater, it will always give a redstone signal of 15. As you can see, this is a redstone signal of 5, and the signal right now is 15 watt, because that's the function of the repeater. It will keep giving us unlimited power. But when it's the comparator, it is a different story. As you can see here, this is the signal is 5, and since it goes into the comparator compared it and gave us a redstone signal of 5. Basically the comparator is the opposite of the repeater. Instead of giving us 15 all the time, it will give us the same number that came into it. The comparator also has some other uses where we can do this, for instance. So basically the item frame has 8 states. As we know, if you right click it, we can get 8 different angles from the item. But do you know it actually gives out a redstone signal? Basically the comparator will take all of the 8 states and we'll do this. So basically this is state 1, and since the comparator looked at it, it says, oh, this is state 1, so we will give a redstone signal of 1. So now if I bring it to state 2, as you can see, the fence gate just opened because it is at power to state 3, state 4, state 5, state 6, state 7, and state 8. So basically the max is 8. So basically the max is 8. So we can only go up to 8 blocks. But this is very cool for like secret base entrances. And yeah, it's basically a lock you can make. But iron frames are not the only ones that can give out redstone signals from the comparator. Basically, as you can see here, the comparator is looking what's inside this cauldron, and since the cauldron is full right now, it is giving a redstone signal of 1. It doesn't matter how many layers are inside the cauldron, as long as there's water, the comparator will take it as, oh, there's something inside the cauldron, so I'll give out a redstone signal of 1. Basically, if I take it out, since it's empty, the comparator will say, oh, there's nothing inside. I should not give out a redstone signal unless there is something in the cauldron. Alright, let's talk about the more complicated thing about the comparator that people do not know how to use. So basically over here we have this redstone dust getting powered by this lever, and that's not the main point. So basically, as you can see, we know that since this is a signal of 14, it will give out 14. But what if a greater number came in from the side? Basically, a signal of 15 goes into the side of the comparator. It doesn't only need to be right side, it can be on the left side too. So basically, if I power this on, the comparator will stop working. Why? So basically, since the side is stronger than the back, basically the comparator will say, oh, this side, the right side is greater than the back side. So basically I should stop working. And yeah, so basically if there's a greater number on the side than the back, the comparator will stop working, and yeah, it will stop giving us a redstone signal. But if it's a lesser number, as you can see here, this is a signal of 9 and this is a signal of 10. Basically nothing happens, it's still going on, because the comparator is going to act like it's gonna be like, oh, so the right side is lesser than the back side, so basically I should keep on giving a redstone signal. And yeah, so basically if something is greater on the sides than the back side, the comparator will stop working. But if it's lesser, the comparator will still go on, basically. But if this bulb is on, which by the way, if you guys don't know how to do that, it's basically just a right click. If the bulb is on, it means it's in minus mode. What is minus mode? Well, we know about if there's something greater or lesser coming into the side of the comparator, it will stop working or still go on. So minus mode is basically what you think. It just subtracts the back and the side. Over here we have 9 and this is 4. So basically the comparator will take the back side and take the back side first and then minus it with the side. So basically, since this is 9 and this is 4, 9 minus 4 equals redstone signal of 5. So now it's at 5, then this is 4, then this is 3, then this is 2, then this is 1, and now that is 0. So basically minus mode is like a calculator. So there we go. So we have a calculator, but we don't even need to build anything. Alright, let's move on to the redstone block. And also this part is a mess because I forgot to make space for everything. So yeah, I guess we have to deal with it. Okay, so anyways, let's get back to it. So over here we know that the redstone block, okay, so there's nothing really much to explain about the redstone block, except like the redstone block powers anything. As you can see here, it just powers whatever's on it or beside it. And another useful thing is that it can be pushed by pistons. Alright, so alright, now that we are done with the red wool, we can go on to the blue wool section. Alright, as I said, blue wool means it's in both input and output, and it doesn't really need to give out a redstone signal. And that is what the hopper is. It's basically an input and output, but it does not it doesn't need to give out a redstone signal. Basically, why it says an input and output, because you can put, because it does, oh my gosh, okay. Basically, this, okay, you see why in a second. So basically, the hopper is not that hard. So basically, you just have to put things in the hopper, then it will come out here. Oh, but let's say we grab, oh, there's a trap chest. It should be fine. So basically, if I put things in the hopper, if I put things in this chest, the hopper will take it out of the chest and insert it here, basically. I should probably use that in case I need to, show more examples. And this also works on the side, as you can see here. Yeah, since it's connecting to the side, it does work like that. I should probably get that back. Alright, so here's a slightly complicated thing about the hoppers, is that where do you think it would go if I put items in that chest? Basically, you think it would go into this side, but what if it doesn't? So let's just see that. Nope, it's not going to here. What about here? Because this is connecting to that. Wrong again. It's going into this chest. Why? Well, it's because if the hopper is on top of another hopper, it doesn't matter if the top hopper is facing whatever directions. The hopper below it will take the things from this hopper all the way down to this hopper. So basically, since this one is on top of, since this hopper is on top of this hopper and this hopper is on top of this hopper, everything just went down into this chest. But here's another function about the hopper, is that if you put a redstone block here, or anything like a redstone torch or maybe a redstone signal, the hopper will stop working, as you can see from that. And so since this hopper stopped working, this hopper cannot take anything from this hopper, and the hopper cannot really push anything downwards. So this hopper will get everything into this chest, unless we do the same thing, and we do that. Now everything will be going into this chest. Since this hopper is not working, this hopper is finally gets to transfer items into this chest. Where I keep that redstone block? Oh, it's here. Okay. Alright, so basically, the harvest not only transfer things into the chest, but also the brewing stand and the furnace, and also the dropper and the dispenser. But they both act like the chest, and I'll talk about those later. Anyways, as you can read from the sign, if we put the hopper on top of the furnace, everything will end up in here where you want to smelt your items. And if you put the hopper to the side of the furnace and put anything into this hopper, basically, as you can see here, it says fuel, so everything will end up over here. And as you can see here, this is the output, so everything here will end up in there. For the brewing stand, we just need to put as you can see, if we put it on top, it will end up here, which is the ingredients, and if we put the hopper on the side of the furnace, brewing stand, sorry, it would all end up over here. As you can see, water bottles. Keep in mind, so also the output, where do you think the output is? It is the same place where you put the water bottles. So here's the thing, keep in mind that if you want to make an auto brewing station, you need to make sure to have a redstone signal going through the bottom hopper, because if it doesn't, the water bottles will just automatically just go into this hopper and will not brew at all. So keep that in mind. Also, another thing is that the hopper cannot be pushed by any pistons. So yeah, I don't really know what to say, because it just can't get pushed. Yeah. Alright, let's get to the redstone torch. There's nothing much to say, but let's just speed run this as fast as we can, because I do not want this video to be so long. Basically, the redstone torch gives out redstone signals. As you can see here, it will give out a signal of 15. That's the max. As you can see here, if we put the redstone torch, if we put a redstone torch above another redstone torch, the top redstone torch will get powered off, because this one is powering this. So basically, the redstone torch is like an output and input. And yeah, that's basically it, because the redstone torch being off is basically an output, and the redstone torch giving power is basically an input. So yeah, so if we look at this carefully, we can see that this one, so yeah, if we flick this switch, if this is off, this will on. It does also work like this. Since this is on, it will turn this off. If this one's off, this will turn on. So another function that the redstone torch has is that over here we can see that once you put it on a block like this, it will only power the sides and the top. Basically, it's because the power source is on the top, so it can only power here, 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 and yeah, it cannot power it here. But if you put it on the side, it would be a different story, because this is the support. This can finally light up because it can go here, 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 and here. So basically, it's the same thing if you put it over here. So it can only go. So since this is since this is the support, it can go here, here, and here. So that's all I have to say. Alright, so now that we're done with the blue wool, let's go on to the yellow wool, which is inputs. So as you can see here, we have the lever now. So basically, it's very simple. We just flick it and turns on. It is not that hard. Yeah, basically. Alright, now we are going to the button, which is, okay, wooden button to be specific. There are two types of buttons, stone and wood. I'll talk about the stone one later. So basically, do I really need to explain? Okay, so other than that, obviously we have to push it. But if we take a bow and shoot the wooden button, it works, because I don't know why, but if you shoot any projectiles, except if you shoot a bow onto the wooden button, it will activate the wooden button, basically, as you can see here. So this is useful since we don't have target blocks right now. Alright, let's get to the stone button. As you can see here, it is a bit camouflaged to the floor. That is sad. Okay, so anyways, it's the same thing, but if we try to shoot it, nothing happens. We have to turn it on manually. So basically, I guess it's because this is lighter and this is heavier, but I don't really know why it works like that. So tell me what you think about this in the comments. Alright, let's get to the pressure plate. Oh, I stepped on it. So basically, it's pretty simple. If you step on the pressure plate, on the wooden pressure plate, it gives off a redstone signal, and specifically signal 15. 15 signals basically. And if we drop, no matter how many entities is that, so basically any entities work. It can be items, it can be mobs, even arrows, as we can see from that. Time to move on to the stone pressure plate. It works the same way, except you can't put items on it, and you cannot activate it with arrows. You basically need entities like mobs. Okay, I know items are entities, but basically it doesn't work. So you can't use items or anything. You need to use mobs basically. Alright, let's move on to the gold pressure plate. Oops. Alright, so there's nothing special about it. You can step on it. The difference is, as you can see here, it's at signal 1. And that is a difference because on the wooden and stone pressure plate, they both give us a redstone signal of 15. And basically, if we shoot it, alright, okay, so basically one stack of items, it equals, okay, let me explain. So basically one stack of items equals one entity. Why do I say it like that? Because as you can see here, 2 stacks equals redstone power of 2. So if we do the same thing right now, so basically 3 stacks, yeah, 3 stacks equal, okay, let me do that again. So basically 3 stacks equals a redstone signal of 3. So that's why I say at least 3 entities to light this up. But the iron pressure plate is even worse than the gold one. Why? As you can see from the sign, I said at least 21 to light up. But I am not too sure because it is very difficult. As you can see here, okay, give me a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So basically if I do something like this, okay, so I guess it's different now. We need 20 to light up. I'm not really sure. As you can see, I am very confused about the about this pressure plate. So yeah. Alright, now we have the daylight sensor. Basically the daylight sensor gives off 15 redstone signals. So as you can see here, this lights up but this doesn't. This is because this is day mode. If it's yellow, it is day mode. If it's bluish like this, it means it is at night mode, as you can see from here. So how do we change it? Just right click it, basically. So this turns on during the day and this turns on during the night. Time for the jukebox, and I cannot place it down for some reason. I guess Art doesn't want you to play music or something. Maybe it's a bit too laggy, I'm not too sure. So I cannot prepare an example for this. But basically, you can power things up with the jukebox. Let's move on to the chest. Not any type of chest, but the trap chest. Basically, the trap chest is like the chest, but as you can see, if you open it, you can see that it is at a 1 redstone signal. It's for a very brief second of that. And to make it even more clearer, if I open this, it does indeed light up. So that is the purpose of the trap chest. Be careful, and yeah. Move on to the tripwire hook. Basically, as you can see over here, from the sign it says 15 redstone signals. And how do I know this? So if I so the tripwire hook can basically, okay, so basically this is the main thing of the tripwire hook, as you can see, and it uses string to power everything, to connect it. So yeah, that's basically it. But if you break it, it does activate for a brief second. So I don't really know why, but yeah. And how do I know that this gives 15 redstone signals? Basically, it doesn't only need to be a player, it can be a mob or an entity, like string. As you can see here, this is 15 redstone signals. If you don't know, you can only have some inputs can only give out either one redstone signal or 15. That's why I'm so sure that it is at 15 redstone signals. And now we're at our last input, and that is the detector rail. At first it looks like nothing. It looks like a weird rail. But as you can see here, if we put a minecart, since the detector rail detected that there's a minecart, it powers up anything below it, like redstone or anything else. And over here it says 15 redstone signals because it is 15 redstone signals. Alright, we are done with the yellow wool. Now we are going to the light blue wool, which is outputs. Basically, these outputs. Okay, so if you think this is a power rail basically. Okay, the power rail is an output because so when something powers the powered rail, it does turn on, which activates the minecart to move around. And the powered rails can share the same redstone signals up to 9 blocks. This is true. It is 9 blocks. It can share it to 9 blocks from left to right. Basically, if this powered rail is in the middle, oops, oh shoot, oh no, uh, alright, I have to fix this. Alright, so basically, if this part rail is in the middle, it can reach up to and if this rail is powered, and since it's in the middle, from the right it can power up to 9 blocks, and from the left, same thing. Now we have the activator rail. So you might be wondering, how does it work? So the activator rail can shake out any entities. This is true. So let's say I get in. As you can see, normally you would have to press L, and then you have to crouch like L shift to get out. But if with the activator rail, it will basically get you out from this block, out, and it will be at this block. Let's test it out. Oh, as you can see, oh, okay. Yeah, so that's basically the function of the activator rail, and this makes villager transporting way easier. Now let's move on to the redstone lamp. I'm pretty sure you guys seen it from the other 3 sections, and it's because this is very easy to represent it's very easy to show you things. And here's how it works. So basically, we all know that we can just power it on. So basically, if the lamp is on, it can power up whatever is on top or beside it. As we can see, if I power this one on, it will power the top and the side, not the corner, because the corner is not really connected to this. So that's how the redstone lamp works. It's pretty interesting, and I would agree. Let's move on to the note block, and I also cannot place this down for some reason. So yeah, I don't know why art does not let us do this, but it should be fine. Now let's move on to the piston. I'm pretty sure we all know what the piston is. And here's how it works. It can push blocks, and as you can see here, the max blocks that pistons can push is 12 blocks. So basically we can keep adding blocks, but the max is 12. Anything other than 12 and the piston will stop working. And as we can see, the piston cannot grab anything back. It will just push and it will not retract anything. Same thing as for the slime over here. And I did put down a sign to say this, so yeah. Now let's go to the sticky piston. So the sticky piston is basically like the piston, but what's different about it is that it can it can retract blocks. Now I have to fix this. And as it can retract any blocks, especially the slime block. And the max amount of blocks that it can push is the same thing as the normal piston. Alright, now here comes, we have the TNT. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what this is, so especially if you read the sign, do I really need to explain? Yeah, I don't need to explain this because it is so easy. Anything can light up. Also, explosions are disabled here. Now speed run the next 5 outputs, which is the trapdoor. Oops. Iron trapdoor. Door. Iron door. Now we're okay, so that was kind of fast. I didn't really need to explain any of that because, well, I assume everyone knows how to use it, except if you guys don't know, the iron trapdoor, the iron doors can not be opened with your, yeah, basically you can't open it without redstone. That's the main point. Wow, that was so easy to say, but it took so long to say it. Anyways, let's get into the dispenser. I'm pretty sure we okay, so some of us don't really know what the dispenser does, and from the sign, okay, so alright, so basically I can't really read the sign. What if I break a hole here? Alright, I don't, okay, so as we see from just now, what I accidentally did was the dispenser can basically dispense things, which is like, as we can see, there's a water bucket inside, so if I step on it, yep, it does dispense water out and does not like drop an item down. So as you can see, okay, so basically it means the dispenser can dispense things like water, lava, arrows, and many more that I cannot say. I cannot really. Alright, I forgot to put an iron frame. Alright, let's move on to the dispenser. And obviously, as you can see here, I had to move it up so we can read the sign this time. So anyways, let's get to the point. So as you can see, as you can see from here, the dropper can be used as a pipe other than dropping stuff. So yeah, normally the dropper, okay, let me just show you an example. So let's put a sign here. Normally this is what the dropper does. Where it go? Oh, okay, so I got it back. Okay, so basically what the drop does is, yep, it dispenses stuff. Okay, so this is what so it drops stuff. And basically what I mean by you can use it as a pipe is, as you can see, if we put this here, the dropper will push the item into this dropper, and this dropper will push the things into this chest. And to prove that I'm not lying, nothing is in the chest. Alright, we are finally done with the outputs, and now we are going on to the gray wool, which is stuff that is useful in redstone basically. So what I mean is we got the rail. Okay, I'm joking. So yeah, rails are normally used in redstone, but it's just rails. What do you want me to say? Yeah, it's basically just rails. So I mean, there's nothing much for me to explain really. And we have the minecart. So basically, as you can see here, the minecart just moves in the rails. I don't really need to explain this. You've probably seen this from Camman or something. Now we've got the TNT minecart, which is very deadly, as you can see. Oh, so if you don't know, if the TNT minecart turns and hits a corner, it basically explodes. And because the explosions are disabled, we can't really see the explosion, but it did knock off the item frame. So I don't want to do that again. I don't. Yeah. Oh my. Excuse me. The TNT minecart actually somehow managed to blow up this item frame too. So anyways, the furnace minecart, and you can't really right click it and see what's inside, but the useful thing is if you put coal in it, yeah, it starts moving. So you don't need to put like power rails or anything. You can just get rails and use this to push the minecarts anywhere. So this is the useful thing about the furnace minecart. Now we are at our last tree. So basically over here, this is going quite fast. So we have the chest minecart, and how it works is it's basically a chest in a minecart, but you can, if you put things, if you like, so this is a hopper. So obviously, since it has a chest on it, it will grab the thing from the hopper, and then it will drop it off. This hopper will take what's inside the chest, the minecart chest, and put it in this chest. So let's see this in action. Yep, just as I thought. And to prove it to you that I'm not lying, so yeah, okay, that's the useful thing about the chest, about the minecart with a chest. Alright, now let's get on to this hopper minecart. So it's similar to the minecart chest, which makes you wonder why we ever make this. Well, it's because the minecart chest, you need a hopper to pass it into the minecart chest basically. But for a hopper minecart, if you just put it under blocks and you drop whatever you want onto the block, the hopper minecart will pick it up and put it into this chest. So as you can see, so this is useful. This is why many YouTubers use this for their farms, because it can go through any type of block, any solid blocks, or yeah. So that's basically it. We're finally down to the last one, which is the slime block. I think I assume everybody knows what the slime block is because of like how bouncy it is. So basically, okay, so basically, if we look at this, so the mid is the piston basically, and as you can see, it does push all of these slime blocks at once. So basically, it can push up. So on the left, you can see it can push 6 blocks, and on the right it can push around 5 blocks. If we don't have the mid, it's basically 12 blocks. So we can't really, so if there, but the reason why this can't be 6 blocks is because if I put this here, yeah, it stops working. So basically we can't have this here. So the max is 12 blocks in this total line, and the piston needs to be somewhere in the middle, basically. As for if it's going on all the way up, it can push to around 11 blocks, and that is without the sides. And okay, just to clarify, if you want to put the top, if for this long line and you just want to put the top, and you want to put the slime block on the top, you can only put one slime block on top of this entire line. If you put 2 blocks, it will stop. I don't really know why. And for this, I'm not too sure why it doesn't. Wait, let me just test this out. Yeah, so it doesn't work if there's a side. Oops. Okay. So basically, it doesn't. Oh my gosh. So basically, it doesn't work if there's any side blocks on the side of this slime. So from the bottom, yeah, this is what you get. And you can only put like one slime block at the bottom. And if you want to put anything at the bottom, you can only put like one, because same thing, you can't put 2 at the bottom for some reason. And as you can see from here, for the bottom, 11 blocks without the top. Basically, it's the same thing. If you put 11 blocks, you can put 11 blocks at the bottom, but you can only put 1 block on the top. I don't know why, but yeah, slime blocks are kind of confusing. That is it for today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy what you see here, and goodbye.